Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool jukebox repair video for you today. There's a gentleman that lives right down the road from us here that comes by every once in a while, and he let us know that he was moving, but he had a jukebox, two of them actually, that he wanted us to repair, and we agreed to repair it for him. So this is a rock-ola Super Sound. I think that's the 490, rock-ola 490. I have to look at the back to make sure, but this is a rock-ola Super Sound CPU controlled jukebox, and we're going to fix it for him in this video or set of videos. I don't even know what's wrong with it. He's had it for quite a while, and the thing is in very clean, nice condition. So we've had it here in one of our back rooms for a little while, and we're going to fix it. And we're going to film it. And the reason that we're going to film it is because we're hoping that if somebody has a similar box, that they'll watch this video and maybe it'll help them fix theirs, because a lot of these things are being thrown away, taken to the landfill, because once they stop playing, they're no fun anymore, and they're big and heavy. But I would love to see more people save them, because they're something special whenever they're working. So hopefully this will help you if you've got one that isn't working. Now keep in mind, on jukeboxes, most of the boxes, if they're by the same manufacturer, are very similar. So this one has a CPU in it that controls everything, and that part is different. But the things like the mechanism is very similar. The power supply is different, but it's a similar idea behind it. So I'm going to go through some generic troubleshooting just to help you determine what's wrong with yours, and then you can focus on that area and try to fix it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it out of here where we can look at it a little bit better, and we'll see what model it is on the back, look at the other side of it, and then we'll try it out and see what's going on. And we're doing it here in one of our little storage rooms. We got some cool stuff in here right now. That's a Tempest we're working on for our buddy down at the beach, Adam. We've got a Bally Night Rider electromechanical pinball machine, and we've got a Gottlieb Swing Along old school pinball machine that we're going to be working on. We've got a Namco Ridge Racer arcade game, and there is a crane machine, a stuffed animal plush machine hiding back there in the back. So we got stuff like this hid all over the place, right? But this jukebox is next, so we're gonna work on it a little bit. So I hope you'll enjoy this video series. Let me slide it out, and then let's look inside it too. So here's the back that we're looking at. This thing is in very nice shape, really. This is a, I wouldn't hesitate to call this like collector's quality. Yeah, there's a little bit of issues, like it's got a couple holes drilled in it for something. But in general, this thing is much nicer than they usually are. And yes, it is a rock-ola 490. I think the 490 and 494s were very similar. I never remember which is which. Got her all opened up. Still has the original key, it looks like, for the front at least. Very clean inside, everything looking decent. I say clean. Compared to other ones, this is very clean, right? You'll know if you get one. There's only been 10 beers spilled in this one instead of the normal 100. So over here is the power supply. That's usually having problems, so we'll see. This is the CPU up here. It has a battery mounted on it. Often gives problems. And then here's the mechanism. This is the amp over here. You have your coin mech down there. And you have the, I think this is called the mechanism board, mechanism PCB. Basically it runs the electrical, but well, it runs the mech. We'll just keep it like that. Okay, so the reason that I'm showing this is because I like to open them up whenever they've been moved, just to make sure there's nothing crazy going on. Sometimes there'll be something hanging down. The amplifier fell off the back and is laying on this light bulb, or there's broken pieces of light bulb all down and through here. Just want to check and make sure everything looks like it's in its right place. So now that we've done that, we can plug it up and see what it does, and see what we can do to fix it. Alright, so I've never turned it on, but I plugged it up. Let's see what happens. Not much. Okay, so I'll show you what you're looking for. I'm going to turn the brightness down so that that light doesn't blind us. Revved up like a deuce. Okay, so here's what you want to look for. So when we plugged it in, it didn't do anything. So a lot of people think that whenever like a light like this is on, that's something significant. All that means is that the AC power is connected to the wall, and we already know that, right? But the power supply actually creates a bunch of DC voltages that the mech needs, the CPU needs, and all of that, right? So if you look on here, let me see if I can... We do have a light on that says default pricing. A little hard to see. But if you look down here on this power supply board, see those LEDs on the side? On a rock-ola, those should be lit up. So there's one there that says negative 28, and I think one says positive 25, and neither one of those are lit up. The motor light is lit up. I don't know if that means power to the motor. I would assume it does. And then the one on the bottom is lit up. Now, it could be that those two LEDs that aren't lit up are just burnt out, but since nothing's working, there's probably a problem there. So the first thing I'm going to go do is see if I've got the schematics where I can look that up, and then we'll be able to see how those two get their power. It could just be a fuse or something, but usually if you have a blown fuse, it's because something blew it. So let's check out the schematics. Okay, folks, I'm running into a problem that I've ran into before. I have the schematics for the rock-ola 490-1, but I do not have the schematics for the rock-ola 490. They're out there somewhere, but you can't even buy them. If you get in touch with the manual places that do reprint manuals and stuff, none of them have the wiring diagram for the original rock-ola 490, which is what this one is, as you saw on the nameplate on the back. They also made a 490-1 and a 490-2, so those schematics you can find. That's what this is right here. And it's similar, but it's a little bit different. So the power block on the 490-1 was a, can we read that? 54920. I think I've got, hold on a second, let me change this. Let's have it automatically focus. And automatically do white balance. Okay. That's better. So this one is a 54920, but the one in the machine is a 54525. So these schematics don't mean anything. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to have to take the power supply out, and we're just going to have to look at it. It's a similar setup. It's just you can't go by the wiring diagram or anything. So I'll pull it out of the machine. Let's put it on the bench, and we can check it out. All right, folks. I have pulled the thing out of the box. And this says rock-ola Power Distribution 54525A. And it has different little things to say if it's being used in England or the United States. It says domestic because this is made in the U.S. So it's just like when we're working on arcade games. You just start at the wall and you follow the power into the machine, or if you're working on a pinball machine. So this is the first place that power comes to, and it's not working right. So let's see why. Now, it's unplugged, of course, and you do want to be careful because there's a big old transformer in here, which means it's got some power. Let's see what the inside looks like. I wish I had a schematic. That would make things a hell of a lot easier. I've worked on these before, but little secret about me, I have a pretty bad memory. Like I remember messing with it, but I don't remember how I fixed the last one. Okay, so the whole front plate comes off. And you can see the 12 volt we had and the motor DS4 we had. Not really sure what that is. But the negative 28 and the plus 25 we did not have. So these caps, by the way, it looks like my brother Joe's been messing with it, trying to fix it. So he attempted it. Yeah, I see some stuff down in there. Okay, so I guess we're going to check out some fuses. Again, everything's unplugged. We're in no danger of getting zapped. A lot of times people that on things like these, they think, oh, my transformer's bad, blah, blah, blah. It's usually not that. It's usually something simple. Like a cap burnt up, or a resistor burnt up, or a transistor or something. The transformer would be a big deal. So I don't even know what these fuses go to, you know. I'm just checking them. Good. It's good. It's good. It's good. All right, so all those are good. Oh, here's another one. Also good. So all the fuses are cool, people. All right, so you would think with the voltage gone, you'd have a fuse blown. But you'd be thinking wrong. Let's see if I can get any kind of a measure on this transistor mounted to the side. 0.556. 0.551. All right, so that is a 7805. Okay, so that seems to be decent. All right, so I'm going to take this off so we can see down in there. If I had the schematics, that'd be much better. But hey, you win some, you lose some. It could be a scenario where it's working, and the LEDs are burnt out or something. These caps look like crap. Let's see what I can do here. Let's pull some more crap out of here. What do you think? Let's dig deeper. Dig Dug Deeper. There was a sequel to Dig Dug in the I think in the 80s, called Dig Dug Deeper. What do you think about that? So how is that mounted? Just on those standoffs? Nope, there's something holding it. What have we got here? It's moving. I hate to pry. So that says black. B for black. Help me help you, Mr. Jukebox. Help me help you. Have I told you in any of my videos about my theory of inanimate objects? So here's my theory, okay? This jukebox only has one purpose. Yes, I was just trying to put that in there to pry on the other end of that board. only purpose of this jukebox is to play records, right? And the only purpose of this is to play, it's a power supply, to create power. And it's not doing that right now. So my theory is that it wants to work towards its purpose. You know, like it was made, its only purpose is to make power. So it wants to do that, but it's just got a few little problems. So usually, if you'll mess with them a little bit, they'll do their part and help you out too. So we're going to see if we can get this thing to do its thing. Okay, so these are labeled, and I don't want to take those off of there if I can help it. That looks like a nightmare waiting to happen. But I believe I'm going to. So this is 8 and it's black. All right, we're going to have to write it down, people. We're also going to take a picture. Matter of fact, we're going to take several pictures. Just to make sure. So 8 is black, 7 is blue and red, 6 is blue and yellow, 5 is red, just red, 4 is red, just red. Surely that won't get screwed up. 3 is red and yellow. 2 is green and white. And 1 is, I'm going to put fuse because it's green and white as well, but it goes to the fuse. So what we're going to do, just to be super safe, because you know you can't ever be too safe. We are going to put some black electrical tape on number 5. So 5 is red and tape. Okay. Ta-da! Now, what are the odds that maybe this rectifier board is on the schematics? Maybe they use the same board inside. 54200. I wonder. Maybe we'll check later. Okay, so I've got my multimeter here. What am I going to check? What am I going to check, people? I have my handy little resistance values chart from Twisty Wrist Arcade. Now, I bet most of y'all watching have all of this memorized, so you don't need one of these. But I got this from my buddy Ripter at Twisty Wrist Arcade. Helps me cheat. You know what else I need? It's kind of, the reason these videos in the back room look kind of dingy sometimes is because it's darker back here. So about a year or two ago, I found this flashlight in a pinball machine, and I've been using it to help me see ever since. Yellow, purple, red. So that's 4, 7, 4,700, 4.7K. Good enough. So it was counting up, and it got up to like 2,000 ohms. The reason is because it's charging one of these caps, probably this one. So that's not going to work too great in circuit. Let's try the diodes. Please let me have a diode burn up. That one's not. That one's not. Both of those seem to be fine. When there's 4, it's usually like they're turning AC into DC. So I'll bet they're fine too. They all seem fine, although they could be replaced, I guess. Here, I'll put it like that. Maybe you can see it better. Those seem fine. Those seem fine. Q2 and Q1. Without the schematics, I can't even really tell. I guess I could track it down and everything. Probably right. That's probably right. I see 2 more diodes. That's probably right. Okay. Then I got 2 little transistors here. Ooh, that's that CR1. What in the world is that? That's a bridge. A little tiny bridge. Not seeing much wrong, people, unless there were bad connections. I don't see any more resistors smoked. I guess I can check these 2 little transistors there. Sometimes they'll, it shouldn't really give you a reading both ways, but I don't even know what they are. And sometimes the way it's being used, you get stuff like that. Both of them are doing that, so maybe all right. I don't see anything definitive except for this big huge cap here that's screwed up. So I wonder if I have one of those. 2200 UF. Oh, I'm not supposed to say UF. Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. 2200 microfarad. I forgot. Y'all don't like it when I have too much soul. Let me see. I thought I had one of those somewhere. That's not. That's not there. Still looking, still looking. Boy, I hope I got one. That would be really cool to have the correct part. That would be just swell. What is in here? What in the world is this? What is that? Is that the absolute correct part? And it's even axial it got axial terminals on it. Oh my Lord. This is amazing. All right. So I'm going against my better judgment here. And I'm actually going to let people see me solder something. Because this is like a troll bait. So whenever people start complaining and telling me I'm doing it wrong, I can just block their ass. And then I don't have to worry about them down the road. I'm sure most of you are going to be just fine. All right, so 2200. Look, this one says... Am I too high? There's no U. What the world? So I wish I could explain to you what that says, but apparently if I did that, I would pronounce those letters wrong. So I can't tell you what it says, but it's 2200, and then there are 3 letters, and then it says 63 volts DC. Oh. Let's give it a little hit. Shall we? Got this new conical. This is the wrong tip for this. But it should get the job done. Might have to crank up the juice, people. We were working on something earlier that didn't need as much temperature. All right. Here we go. That's better. So to the amateur soldering people out there like me, if you add a little solder, it makes it easier to remove the solder. Basically, you're mixing new in with the old. And then you really need to make sure that the board is marked right. So it's saying positive is here, and the capacitor is saying that this was positive. So, but see how the end of it's all mushroomed up? Now, a lot of people would say, oh, look, that one's exploding. I'm not so sure, man. That might be how that particular type was originally made. I don't know. But it sure looks bad, so we're definitely going to replace it. Oh, you know what? It's like rubber or something. What the hell? I think that might be how they made it, that particular type. Just my opinion. See if I've got a solder sucker here that wants to cooperate. Likely no. Cooperate with us, people. Cooperate with us. You know, usually when I'm working on this stuff, if I'm not filming it, I'm listening to music, but I can't turn the music on because then YouTube mutes all the audio in the video so you can't hear anything I'm saying, which some people would prefer, but most of you would probably be annoyed by that. Okay, so we're going to put in our capacitor, make sure that it's oriented properly. So it's saying negative is this way, which means positive would be this way. Get it back to somewhere near the center there. I always like to turn mine where you can read them. Doesn't really matter, but like, see this one? What cap is that? I don't know, because whoever put it in there didn't give me any respect. So I'm giving the next guy some respect. He'll be able to tell what that is because of the way I put it in there. Or the next girl. The royal guy. Women can do it just as well as I can. They'd probably be better at it because they would, well, there's no reason they'd be better either. They'd just be exactly the same. Gotta watch what I say. Don't want to make anybody angry. Trying to bite me. See if I can get it looking nice and clean. So fresh and so clean. That's good. All right, good enough. Good enough. We'll cut the leads off. And then, just to tie it up with a pretty little bow, we'll put a little zip tie action on it. Like they had. Man, look how nice that looks. Look at that. Look how beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to replace these three as well. And I'm going to check these resistors. And then we'll see what we can figure out. Oh, you know what? I'm also going to... Ooh. What's that I see? Could be. I'm going to reflow those too, because I don't see any cracks or anything, but we might have some screwed up solder joints there. Give it a little reflow. A little reflow never hurt anything. Alright, so I'm going to kick y'all out of here, turn on the music, and I'm going to replace those three. And I'm going to test the resistors that I didn't test. They look fine, you know. I wish I knew, if I had the schematics, it'd be so much better. I could check the voltages going in on the wires, see what's going on, check the voltages at the fuses and all of that. But alas, it is not to be. So I'll do that and see what we got. Okay, folks, so I've got the caps back on it, got the board back in it. We're going to try plugging it up and see what we get, even though there were no fuses blown or anything. I'm going to rig it back up, put it back how it was, if I can. And then we're going to see if anything has changed. And then we may be able to at least try to test some of the voltages on this board and see if we get anything. I don't know, without the schematics. Some of you that are more experts on this stuff could probably look at that board and tell what's happening. Okay, where is my power switch? Okay, it's down there. Okay, so we're going to plug it up and hope we don't blow anything up. Nothing is touching. Everything looks cool. So this is when you know you need to be careful. Don't do as I do. Just watch me do it. So we may have sparks, fire, might have all kinds of problems. Hopefully not. Holy crap. I'm better than I thought I was. I wonder if there's something where whenever it's in the cabinet, it something's shorting those lines out or something. What do you think? That's very interesting. So when you have those 4 LEDs on, it means the voltage is there. It might be wrong, you know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be 25. That LED is not measuring 25. It's just being turned on by something in the circuit. But hell, I got all 4 lights on. Boy, I like the looks of that. I have fixed, not maybe the same block, I don't know, but so these power supplies for the rock-olas, a lot of them they're very similar, but they're a little different. So a lot of them have this little board with the LEDs on it. And I have fixed a couple of them before by going down to that little board we were just messing with and working on that. But I've had some before where there was actual damage down there. So there would be like a resistor that was burnt up or a cap that exploded on one of them. That was real fun. I don't know how that even happened. It didn't leak. I mean, it looked like it caught on fire, you know. So maybe that board usually needs some work. I mean, clearly it did with these old capacitors. Let's look at the date code, if there is one. I can't decipher that one. Let's see if this one's got a plain one. Yeah, so this one says the 16th week of 1984. So April 84. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off, unplug it very carefully, make sure everything's cool, put that back down, and then we'll try it back in the cabinet. See if we get anything different. Okay, so I've got it back in. I haven't turned it on yet, but to be honest, I'm a little suspicious that fixed it, because what I'm thinking is that I didn't try it before with anything unplugged, and then I didn't try it before I replaced those capacitors on the bench. So it could just be that whenever it has a load on it, it doesn't work right. So we'll try it and see. But I don't know. So I hate to be a pessimist, but it very well could be that whenever we turn it on, it didn't fix anything. And my pessimism played out. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start unplugging stuff. You know what though? That could be... It still could be the power supply, because it could be that whatever creates the 25 volts or whatever the 25 volts is doesn't work under load, or it could be that whatever's plugged into it is shorted or whatever, so it's making it turn itself off. Okay, I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to unplug everything, and then we'll plug it all back in with nothing on it and see if it does what it did on the bench. So I unplugged just the amplifier, and we've still got the same problem. Alright, so yeah, we got our lights back on with both of these low voltage power plugs unplugged. So we replaced those capacitors, which I guess is good, but that didn't fix anything. So we still either got a problem with the power supply, not being able to put out enough power under load, or we've got a problem where the mechanism is shorting it out, or I guess it would be the mech. Either the mech or the control unit. Let's see if there's a different plug for each one. Okay, so with the amplifier and the smaller of the low voltage power plugs plugged in, we're still good. So it's something on that big 12-pin plug there. Okay, so I've got 4 lights, and I unplugged the CPU, and we're good. So the mech is still plugged up. I don't even know, you know. I wonder if well, without the CPU, I guess I can't scan or anything. this board here. I'm trying to see if there's like power over here at all. I'd like to know for sure that it's that control unit. I didn't unplug anything over here, so. Schematics would help a lot. Okay. You know what I could do? I've got a control unit that does not work. So I could try putting it in, plugging it up, and seeing if it still does it. If it does still do it, I've tested that one in other machines. It doesn't work, but it doesn't short out the power supply. So if I put that in and it doesn't work, but it doesn't, you know what I mean? So if I put it in and that one also makes the power supply do its thing, well, then we've got a problem in the power supply. But if I put it in and that one's fine, then we've got a problem on the control unit. All right, so this is the one that I stole out of there. And this is the one that I put in there. See how the system test light is on? With this big old fluorescent here, it's making it a little hard to see. So the system test light is on because that's what it was doing. But all of our LEDs are fine with that one on. So there is something on the CPU that's in there that is shorting out the power supply and making it not work. But hey, we've tracked it down, right? So this video is getting pretty long, but I'm going to take this in the other room and we'll pop the front off just to see if we see anything obvious. So looking at the wrong schematics, it has this one power plug here that it says is the mech CPU power cable. Now this is probably slightly different on the 490, the 490-1, the 490-2, but the CPU, and there are two different CPUs too with different connectors, but the power connector seems to be the same, right? But look real close at what I found here. So there's C203 and C204 10 MF 35 volt, right? Now look what they're connected to. Pin 11 on the connector there saying is the power common, right? And then C204 connects around and connects over here to 26 volt DC. And then C203 connects over here to negative 28 volt DC. That's our two that we are having a problem with. So C203 and C204 bridge across the ground and the two voltages that we do not have. Okay, so I've taken the board out of the game, and then on this is the power connector here. Here, right? And on the very back of said power connector, I'm trying to get it where I could show you when I check with the meter. Let's put some light on the situation. Okay, do you see what I see? A star, a star. Do you see what I see? Let me go in a little farther. I'd like to get it just right. For those of you who go, why don't you use a tripod? Now you know. Because it's a pain, man. I'm all over the damn building. I'm going in the back, working on it, bringing the stuff back, trying to show you this, looking at the schematics. I just don't have time to set up the tripod all the time. But this time around, we're going to do it. That's C203, and that is C204. Okay? And they're tantalum caps. Now, what do tantalum caps do? They short all the damn time, right? So you probably won't be able to see this. Maybe you will. Cap is shorted, and the other one is too. It's just hard to get to it from there. Either the caps are shorted or the two rails are just shorted because of Maybe there's something else doing it. But I'm seeing Mylar caps right across the power rails. Come on. And they're shorted whenever you measure it in circuit. You know it's those caps. But here's the thing. This video is long as hell. I'm going to leave you hanging. Because this thing takes like 10 minutes just to take the freaking board apart, right? And just looking at this board would be a really cool video, right? So I think we're going to leave it here till next time. And then I'll film another video of us fixing that. Now, so what did we accomplish in this video? All we accomplished in this video was we tracked down that the power supply was probably fine the whole time, but we replaced the capacitors on that one board, so they won't be a problem in the future. My brother had already replaced the capacitors on that board on the front, so they won't be a problem in the future. So, and we put another board in. So by testing the other board in it, we know that the power supply is good to go. No problems, right? But now we're on to the CPU, so we'll do that on another one. So we've narrowed it down to this CPU, when plugged into the power, makes the LEDs turn off on the power supply. When you put another known to not work, but at least attempt something, CPU in, it doesn't make the lights short out. And then whenever you test, you find that the two rails, the negative 28 and the positive 26, are both shorted to ground on this board. So clearly this board is the problem. So I could just swap those two caps and throw it in, but I've got history with these. It takes 10 or 15 minutes to take it apart. There's a battery in there that needs to be removed and replaced. It'll probably have a bunch of battery damage that we have to clean up. And then even once you do that, the board may not work. So we can do a whole video just on this, and we will. So we hope you have enjoyed it. We've at least narrowed it down, right? So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. We're going to bring this sucker back from the dead. Now, if you are watching this video, you can rest assured that I've already fixed this thing, or I wouldn't have uploaded that video. That's how I do, right? So, for instance, we've got another jukebox we've been working on, a DS160. I uploaded those before I rebuilt the amplifier and all that stuff, but the reason I uploaded them was because the machine is up and running and playing. It still needs work done, but it's fixed, right? So this one is not up and running and playing yet, but the reason I know in this video to tell you that it's up and running and playing is because I will not upload that video until I get this thing up and running and playing. So if you're watching this video, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Oh, hell no. You just need to wait for the next video to come out. It's coming soon, or I wouldn't have uploaded it. So our next video, we will work on this. So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're having a problem with yours. Maybe we can give you some advice. If it's real deep in the weeds, sometimes we don't have the time to get all into it. If anybody out there finds the schematics for the original 490, not the 491, and it'll say 490-1, not that one, I got that one. Not the 490-2, not that one. That one's out there all over the internet. The one for the original 490. Hard to find. You can't even buy it. So if you find that, let me know. I sure could use it. But leave your comments below. Let us know what you think about it. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. And down below, we'll put a link to Amazon. We've been trying to get people to do this little Amazon thing for us. If you go to Amazon to buy anything, doesn't have to be something we suggest or anything. If you use our link below, then Amazon counts that as we sent you to Amazon, because I'm doing a commercial for Amazon right now just by mentioning it, right? So if you go to Amazon through our link, it doesn't raise your prices or anything, but it puts our name up in the URL of your Amazon site whenever you go there, and then everything you buy on Amazon, they pay us a royalty for. It's so cool. So people keep buying things, just, anything small, like food. A lot of people buy a lot of food on Amazon. And whenever they do that, it gives us some of Amazon's money, not your money, because it doesn't raise your prices. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign up for anything or log in or anything. All you have to do is click that link. And whenever you do it, it tells them that we sent you there. So we appreciate all the people that have been doing that. That's pretty awesome. And we're happy that we found a way for people to contribute to us, but that they don't have to spend any money, you know, because it doesn't charge anything extra or anything. People have been asking us if we're going to do Patreon. We're not going to do that just because we're a business and we don't want you spending your hard-earned money on some guy just ranting and raving on repair videos. We want you to be able to watch them for free and not have to donate or, you know, we've got special videos for the Patreon people and all that. We're not going to do that. Now, if other people want to do that, I have no problem with it. I'm just not going to do it for me. We'd rather keep everything free where you don't have to pay anything. But if people want to click our Amazon link, that helps us out and we appreciate it. So leave your comments. If you need something on Amazon, click the link and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll get this sucker running tomorrow, but tonight it's late. I'm going home.
People, you may not have heard yet, but we've got a second channel that we've opened up for our brother Donnie, my brother Donnie, and the name of the channel is My Brother Donnie. So go check that out if you like. It has nothing to do with arcade games, but it's more like farming, mechanical work. If you like seeing things be repaired, he does stuff like that a lot of times. If you like the kind of vibe we bring to things, positivity, and can always get it done attitude, I get that a lot from my brother Donnie. So go check him out. Me and him, I'm also on that channel right now. Me and him and I are working on this old dilapidated mobile home that we bought, and it's kind of funny because the thing's destroyed and we're trying to fix it. So if you get time, go check out My Brother Donnie here on YouTube. The link is on our channel. See you on the next video.